Let's be real. Your team is probably using tools like ChatGPT every single day. And why not? It feels like a super quick win for productivity. But what if I told you that all that convenience comes with a hidden cost, a strategic risk that could seriously be a ticking time bomb for your entire business? Okay, let's dive into why building your own private AI isn't just another tech project. It's an absolutely critical move for your company's future.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll pull back the curtain on the hidden costs of public AI. Then, I'm going to introduce you to a really powerful alternative, the private agent solution. After that, we'll walk through a super clear framework for getting it deployed, see how it works in the real world, and I'll even give you some concrete next steps you can take. Finally, we'll zoom out and look at what this all means for the future of AI in the enterprise.
So, let's kick things off with the big, tough question. That AI tool that everyone on your team loves so much, it might actually be creating way more problems than it's solving.
You see, on one hand, you've got the promise that got us all hooked in the first place, right? Quick wins, boost in efficiency, easy innovation. But on the other side, that's where the hidden dangers are. Every single prompt your team enters could be a potential data leak. Every new user you add drives that subscription bill higher and higher. And fundamentally, you're stuck with whatever the public provider lets you do. There's just no real customization. This chart, well, it lays out the financial trap perfectly. See that blue line? That's your public AI subscription. It starts off looking cheap and easy, but it just climbs and climbs as your team grows and usage goes up. Now look at the orange line. That's a private AI. Yeah, there's a bigger upfront cost, no doubt, but look how quickly it flatlines. It becomes a stable, predictable expense. You're not just renting a tool anymore. You're building and owning a strategic asset.
So, if public AI is the problem, what's the solution? Well, it's all about taking back control. And that brings us to the private AI agent. So what exactly is a private AI agent? Put simply, it's an AI model that you own and you operate. It lives on your servers, whether that's in your building or in your own private cloud. Think of models like OpenClaw. The bottom line is, your data never ever leaves your control, and the AI works only for you.
You know, this table makes the strategic choice crystal clear. With public AI, your data security is basically in someone else's hands. Customization is minimal. The costs are a runaway train, and you have zero real control. With a private agent, you get to flip the script on every single one of those points. You get ironclad security, you can customize it fully with your own proprietary data, the cost model is predictable, and you have complete and total ownership. It's a no-brainer.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds really complex, right? But it honestly doesn't have to be. We can break this whole thing down into a clear, totally manageable framework that takes you from just an idea to a fully integrated solution.
Here it is, the 4-step plan. First, you assess your needs. Where can AI make the biggest splash, and where's your data the most sensitive? Second, you select the right model. You know, not every problem needs the biggest, most expensive model out there. Third, you deploy it securely and plug it into the systems you're already using. And finally, and this is the most powerful part, you iterate. You train it on your own data, making it smarter, more valuable, and more unique to your business over time.
Theory is great, but let's make this feel real. What does this framework actually look like when a company puts it into action?
Okay, let's imagine a company, and we'll call them Innovate Corp. They're a big player in the pharmaceutical world, doing all sorts of cutting-edge research and development.
Now, their challenge is massive. They are sitting on mountains of proprietary research and super sensitive patent data. Using a public AI to analyze this stuff, that would be like just emailing their trade secrets directly to a competitor. The risk of an intellectual property leak is just way, way too high. So what did they do? They followed the framework. They deployed a private agent, something like an OpenClaw model, hosted it on their own internal servers, and, this is the key, they trained it exclusively on their gigantic library of past experiments, clinical trial data, and scientific papers.
And the result? It was a total game changer. Suddenly, their researchers could instantly ask questions of decades of internal knowledge, spotting connections and speeding up discovery like never before. They actually accelerated their research cycles by 30%, all while keeping their IP under Fort Knox-level security. That's the real power of private AI. And look, this isn't just for giant companies like our example. Any business can start this journey. So let's talk about what you can do, like right now. Here are 5 simple steps to get the ball rolling. First, put together a small team. Make sure you've got people from both IT and a key business department. Second, don't try to boil the ocean. Pick one specific high-value problem to solve first. Third, Do an audit of what you're already paying for public AI tools. That number might really surprise you. Fourth, start exploring the world of open source models. And finally, talk to an expert who can help you map out a smart, strategic plan.
Okay, let's just zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. This shift from public to private AI, it's more than just a trend. It's truly the future of how competitive businesses are going to operate.
I want you to really think about this quote. Right now, having your own private, custom AI that's trained on your unique data is a massive competitive advantage. But very soon, it's just going to be table stakes. It'll be as fundamental as having a website or a CRM. It'll be a basic requirement just to stay in the game.
So, this all comes down to one last critical question for you to consider. Are you actively building a strategic AI asset for your company's future, or are you just renting a temporary tool for today that puts your most valuable data at risk? The choice you make now is really going to define your company's tomorrow.